All right. Did we make it? Are we here? Is it time?
We made it. And here's the kicker. So last week was like the shortest work week ever. But today I feel like I worked all of last week and then all through the night last night. I mean, I am so tired this morning. I completely just skipped over coffee. And I was like, man, I need a Celsius because it really does pick me up. I wish they were a sponsor.
I know, right? You know, non-sponsored, but maybe one day.
I know. I mean, it really does pick you up.
Gosh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome
Yeah, good morning.
to Monday, January
Is it Monday?
22nd. We kind of all stumbled into Monday morning.
Yeah.
But we're glad for those of you who are live with us this morning and for those of you who will hop on later.
See, already I'm seeing things that I'm going to have to do. Like, can you scoot in a little bit closer to me like you like me? Thank you so much. Okay.
I like that, like I like it. Yeah, all right. Okay, so guys, what about that snow last week?
Yeah, that was crazy. And every day we kept getting the messaging, oh, we're not going into work the next day and the next day. And it just kind of iced, you know, like at where I was anyway. So I was jealous of the people who actually got a little bit of snow and were able to, you know, build a snowman or just throw snowballs and stuff like that. But where in Winsboro, it was just ice. We couldn't drive anywhere. The roads were horrible. So I am glad that we were, you know, kind of home for those couple of days because it would not have been safe to drive. But, yeah, it was just
Cold.
It was cold. It really was.
It was cold. And we live in 3 different areas because you're in Winsboro. I'm at the north end of Monroe. And Ryan, you're in Ruston.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So for us, I mean, we kind of had a little sleet that first day and then it iced over. So really, you just had ice on that first layer.
Right.
And then the next day, it snowed. But then that got hard too, you know, and we didn't get very much either. It wasn't enough. I mean, you couldn't even start a snowball, you know, for a snowman in that. I mean, you really couldn't. And so, you know, it was just there. My car didn't move all of those days.
That's right.
You know, I
When
didn't
you-
go out anywhere. You know, we were all, you know, we had food in the house. And so that, you know, that was nice.
The day that you finally decided to move your vehicle, you felt like it took a little bit extra time to start it, right?
It was so weird getting back out on the road.
My battery died.
Cameron texted me Friday morning. It's like, my car won't start. I think it's the battery.
Yeah. Thankfully, we had jumper cables, and that worked. But
That was
yeah,
okay.
my car was tired. It was, it was like, it's cold. I don't want to go
Your car was
anywhere.
tired. We were all just still tired. Like, Friday, are we really coming to work today? You know?
Yeah.
Might as well make it a whole week.
But I
Right.
tell you what, though, y'all, I mean, during that time, you know, I was so thankful and also prayed for. I was thankful for the fact that we have a home, that we have heat, you know, because there were some people who did not have that and were cold those days that we only felt the cold, you know, maybe going out to check the mail, you know.
Did you
or maybe
bundle
taking
up?
garbage out.
I know you're trying to say something serious, but did you bundle up like when you walked outside for those 2 seconds to get the mail? Were you head to
Look,
toe, gloves, everything?
Listen, let me tell y'all, my mailbox is at the end of my driveway, and I got a FedEx package one day, and I went to the front door to open it to get the FedEx package. And when I felt that air coming back at me, I was like, that mail can wait.
Yeah.
It is not that important.
No.
It can wait until the weather warms up a little bit, or either I leave the house and I can drive right in front of my mailbox while I'm still in the car and can reach in and grab the mail, because it was not happening. I was not walking down to get the mail. So no, Ryan, I did not. I did not. I did not, but I tell you what, it did make me think a lot about when I was a kid growing up. And I mean, because I grew up, I was born and raised in Gary, Indiana. And so, you know, having snow wasn't an automatic snow day for us because, you know, we were accustomed
Right, y'all
to
are
the snow
prepared
and we
for
were
it.
prepared, right. So it had to be a ton of snow to be able to get a snow day. But when we did, it was so great, because you went out and you played in snow. It's too much to go to school in or travel in, but all the kids, the neighborhood kids, were outside and, lived on a city block. I know some of our areas rural, but I grew up on a city block. And we would go outside and we would make our snowmen and have snowball fights. And then when I would come in, my best snow day memory was my great-grandmother and my great-great-aunt raised me. But when I would come in from playing outside after I got out of my soaking wet gloves and my boots and all the layers, they would have hot tomato soup waiting for me and a grilled cheese sandwich.
Tomato soup. Okay.
And that was, oh gosh, that was like the best.
That is the best combo. The grilled cheese and the tomato soup.
Oh
is
my goodness,
so
it was good.
We have tomato soup fans at the table, apparently.
Ryan is distinguishing himself very far away from that.
But it's funny, whenever you're a kid, you don't really think about how cold it is. You don't think about how uncomfortable you might be. You're just out there having a great time. And we need to, we think back and, man, what happened to that? Right now, where every little thing, it's uncomfortable. Oh, it's cold. I don't want to be out here. So we try. We got to.
So what's your favorite snow day memory? Do you even have a snow day memory as a kid?
A snow day memory? Growing up in the southern part of the state, it was rare. But when we got like a dusting one time, I think I was 11 or 10 years old, and there was a dusting down there. We thought that was the coolest thing ever. Just you couldn't build anything with it. There was nothing really to see or look at. Maybe the grass had a little layer, like a frost on it almost, But that was good enough for us. We thought we were big time.
Almost snow.
Yeah. I think school might have got canceled just for that. It's like there's a threat.
It's the ice element.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the ice element that gets us here. What about you, Cameron?
My favorite snow day memory, I kind of go between two, because I've had the snow day where you're with your family and you go sledding in the backyard, because my folks live where they have a huge yard. But my favorite and recent memory was when I was still in college. I think it was my second or third year of college. And I was living with my friend at the time, as well as my cousin. And it snowed that night. And then waking up in the morning to see that the world had changed color in my college town.
The world changed color.
And we should not have driven on the roads, but we wanted to go to the park, the local park there, to play in the snow. And so we got out of my apartment in the cold. Me and my friend Delphina, we hopped in my car. We were riding along, and we were just like, wow, looking at everything, because we'd never seen Ruston, like that before. And so we spent all morning playing in the snow and taking pictures, and then we went and ate some Waffle House afterwards.
See,
perfect snow day.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was a great way to cap that off.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a little breakfast.
Oh yeah,
A little breakfast.
A little hot breakfast.
absolutely.
Yeah, so in the news this week.
Oh, news. Do we really want to call it news? Whose news is it? Is it Delta News or is it national news?
This is LDCC Entertainment News.
Oh, wow. That actually worked, and I wasn't even on it. Okay. Sorry. I wasn't even watching. Go ahead. Yes, continue.
Ryan, would you like some Celsius?
I probably need 3 of them right now. I'll be ready for it the next time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so in the news, the entertainment world this week, let's see, we are celebrating World Snow Day.
So, January 21st, World Snow Day is observed, and it was created by the International Ski Federation. And the purpose,
very appropriate.
Right. The purpose behind it is to increase children's participation in snow-related sports like skiing and snowboarding, believe it or not, while bringing together families for a fun-filled frolic in the snow. So that's
I like the
day.
latter part.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Snow
deal
should
behind
be
Snow Day.
fun. All right, what else we got happening?
And then, National Hugging Day was. Now we're talking.
National what?
Hugging Day. Excuse me. Yes, I.
Like as in tree?
No, not hug a tree. No, like hug a person day.
Hug a Day.
was also yesterday. So, if you didn't get a good hug with your loved ones or whatever, make sure you make up for that today.
Okay.
It apparently there was a time when hugging was seen as like a uncomfortable public display of affection.
Growing up in the North, I can relate to that. It wasn't until I moved to the South that y'all just kind of just rub those edges off.
Really?
Seriously. I mean, because when I first moved here, I was like, oh my
What is
gosh,
going on with
people
y'all?
are like, in your space
Yep.
and in your life. I mean, the conversation, the questions. But it was just, that Southern hospitality thing is a real thing. I mean, and I didn't realize that until after I had been here for some while. But when I first moved here, I mean, that felt so invasive because I wasn't accustomed to that. I mean, that, you just didn't go around hugging people. And now when I go home, I walk up and hug everybody,
Right.
strangers and everything. My family is used to it now after being here for 30-something years. It'd be 35 years next month. But when I first went home, after because it took me about maybe 3 to 5 years to kind of settle into Southern culture.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first went home and I was hugging everybody, people were looking at me like, what is wrong with you?
Right. What's in that water down there?
Why are you hugging people? We don't.
I'm scared to
don't
move
do
up
that.
north now or take a vacation up north because if I meet people, I'm like, too friendly, too quick. People are gonna be like, you're weird.
Well, people have migrated back and forth so much, and people are, they travel more. That typically, they're kind of accustomed to the other ways of the world. It's not like you're living in your own little silo.
Right.
Like it was when I was growing up, but so
That is
you're
interesting.
good. Maybe extreme East Coast, you may not want to do that, but it's a little different.
Giving us sage words of wisdom on Monday morning. Right? So the next graphic, thank you so much, Cameron, for getting all these cool graphics together.
Of course.
National Squirrel Appreciation Day
I don't know about y'all.
was
but
also yesterday.
I haven't appreciated a squirrel in a long time.
Ever. Oh, so what are you supposed to do? I mean, are you just supposed to appreciate their creation? I mean, what's the deal with it?
All right.
With
Is there
this holiday?
history? I mean,
There is a little bit of history.
Okay,
So apparently,
enlighten us.
apparently, in 2001, the date was created to celebrate our little furry friends, who some people would think are rodents or even invasive.
Yeah, they
Others,
look like
just
rodents.
love them. But apparently, in American cities, squirrels did not exist for the longest time.
Really?
And it wasn't until 1847 that somebody decided, and I don't know who, I apologize, said, hey, in Philadelphia's Franklin Square, we're going to, plant some trees and we're going to make a little habitat that might be helpful for the squirrels. And then they bust squirrels in from the urban areas,
hard
and
the squirrels.
from the rural areas. They
Stalked them and trapped them, brought them in.
they got on a charter bus and they came in to the city, and it was this idea that, hey, they might be beneficial in some way. Maybe they help us to just appreciate nature in our urban surroundings. Maybe they can just be something cute to look at. So I don't know who it
Clean
was.
up the acorns.
We ripped them out of their habitat
To-
for our
Ooh.
entertainment
Yes.
purposes.
But then later, it fell out of favor. This happened in Philadelphia. It happened in Boston and New Haven. And then all of a sudden, in the 1860s, there was this decision that, oh, you know what, this isn't good. The birds,
The
birds,
ecosystem's messed up.
right. The birds are scared to nest in the trees now and stuff. So we're gonna get rid of them. And so, because people before this time, the thing was, well, we need to encourage people to be friendly to the squirrels and not shoot them, for food and just. And so that whole thing happened anyway. So that was before that happened, and then the 1860s happened. And it was like, no, we're not gonna keep this up. And then it came back in the 1870s in Chicago. In Chicago,
Squirrels say, "What's up? Y'all got
Yeah.
us now.
Yeah.
You gonna rip us out and bring
Yeah.
us in, and then try to kick us out." No,
and
we're
then
not
ever
having
since
that
then, the
here.
major metropolitan areas like Chicago, New York, Boston, and D.C. Started welcoming habitats for the squirrels and building large urban parks. The city parks of the world and the central parks
Yeah.
and whatnot. And that's how it came to be.
That wasn't a little history. That
That
was
was a
like a
lot.
Sorry,
lot. That
you
was- Yeah.
of all of the ones that I was looking at over the weekend, that one to me was the oddest one, so I had to know why. And there's even more to
That's
talk about.
interesting.
Like, you could take a whole day on National Squirrel Day, and I know we don't have that kind of time.
So have you all ever eaten squirrel?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've had it in gumbo before.
In gumbo, really?
Yeah, my grandma used to put everything in gumbo. Crab,
That makes sense.
squirrel, rabbit, everything. Her recipe had every animal that you could hunt and shoot in the Louisiana woods. So.
So do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was just, I mean, everybody says like, oh, it tastes like chicken, or it tastes like some kind of thing, but it's kind of gamey a little bit. But
So my
used to
grandfather,
that.
Like it?
my grandfather actually introduced me to squirrel. He's from Maryland. He grew up in Maryland, and so he was shooting squirrels all the time. He was a country boy, and he said, "You got to try this one day." So he takes his black cast iron pot out, and he cooks it down over a couple hours in butter and simple seasoning like salt and pepper, and it was pretty tender. I'm not gonna lie. He made it taste really good. Just a simple recipe. Now, of course, he's since passed, and I don't know what the recipe really was, but he just said, "Hey, you don't knock it until you try it." And sure enough, I tried it, and I said, "This is fantastic."
and then a cast iron
I
skillet.
just cannot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I've never tried it, but I had a grandmother, I believe, would eat squirrel, and I know my great grandmother did, but yeah, no,
You would never try it, even if you had the opportunity,
no.
because you really appreciate squirrels.
I do. That's why. That's why. And rabbits too. I mean, it's like, no.
I've had rabbit stew before. It's pretty good.
You did a lot. That's good stuff.
Cameron has a very open palate, and that's so good. I just can't wrap my brain around it. Maybe if I was like
If you
stuck
had
on
to,
an island and
right.
starving,
if you had to hunt and
my
trap
mind would expand. But
to survive,
it just voluntarily expanding.
There's so many other things to
And
eat.
deer, and turtle. I mean, anyway,
Wow.
so it's not
You
any
never
of
had
those.
deer either?
yeah, this is where we part
That's all I
ways.
eat.
This is where we part ways with you, Darren.
Sorry.
No.
Darren, I mean, you don't know what you're missing.
Living in the South, I have learned to ask, what's in that? Because I have such a selective palate. I have to ask, what is that? Because I don't even want to try it. I mean, I just don't. I don't even want to. If it's not chicken, pork,
Beef.
or beef, it's like, yeah, no.
Wow.
I did try lamb chops. Did not like them.
Wow.
I did not. So.
Are we weird?
I don't think so.
No, I mean, it's just no. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I tried it at one of those restaurants, where they. I can't think. It's golly, the name of it is escaping me. But it's where they walk around and you pay one price and you get all the meat you can eat. They just walk around and then they'll ask you, lamb chops, chicken,
Yeah,
whatever,
you want some of this,
steak.
yeah.
Golly, and I've been to those things a number of times. But anyways, I figure if I'm gonna try it, that would be a great place to try it because there's no skin off my back if I don't like it because it's included, in my selection of meats anyways.
Right.
And so I tried it and I was like, yeah, I don't like it. I wanted to like it.
Yeah.
For years, I was that way with like crab and lobster. It's like I wanted to like it, but I just didn't like it. And then one year I tried it and I was like, man, this is great. I don't know what happened, but
Taste
Gotta
buds
change your heart.
change.
yeah. But anyways, back to we went down a whole rabbit trail.
We're about to go through another one because the next one's a food one too, I think.
Oh my goodness! So what's the next one, Ryan?
Yeah, you gotta love this. So National Blonde Brownie Day, or most people know it as just the Blondie. And if you have ever been to Applebee's
wrong.
way back when they used to serve that,
That's just wrong.
why is it wrong?
A blonde. It's brown. It's in the name. It's in the name.
Look, creativity, right? This is what makes the world go round. Anyway, The Blondie does have elements of cocoa in it, by the way. It's usually got some chocolate chips, and it's in a bar form. Okay, so it's got a little brown in it.
So who started this?
She needs to know what to put on her
I
list.
need to know. I mean,
So this is the one that I looked up that has no history to it.
Ryan's gonna make up the history.
No, but there is a timeline. Okay, so bear with me. So apparently, 1896, the first recipe for brownies that did not include chocolate was published by a lady named Fanny Farmer.
Okay.
And then
It didn't include chocolate.
yeah, I know. And then in the 1950s, somehow, I'm just kind of skipping around here on the timeline, blonde brownies rose to popularity as an alternative to typical chocolate brownies. But it's basically the same recipe, it's got that denseness to it, but it's got a couple of chocolate chips in most of them. Usually there's a drizzle of some sort of cream sauce on it. I don't really know what it is, it's a dessert that some people really like. Now, you're a purist, apparently, and you think if it's a brownie, it's got to be chocolate through and through. And I'm okay
So
with
is
that.
it yellow? Is it white? Is it
The picture,
off
I'm bringing
white?
the picture back up. This is can you see the picture?
Yeah.
It's kind of a,
It's
Caramel
kind of
color.
yellowish.
yeah, and I said a cream sauce. Some are cream, some is caramel. Just depends on who you
Yeah,
are.
so it does look like a
But
just
that
a
is
bar.
today, y'all. Just in case y'all were wondering, that's today's fun day of recognition.
Yeah, the
or whatever
22nd.
it
Yeah,
was.
I'm not celebrating that.
You're not celebrating
I may
it.
get a regular brownie and
No,
say
don't
cheers.
do it.
Oh my gosh, she is directly opposing. Like,
But you
are
know
on
what?
defense.
Honestly, I would actually try that.
Mhm.
Whereas the other stuff, I just no.
Well,
But I would
blondie's
try
okay.
it. I would try it because it just looks like vanilla cake. I mean, yellow cake in a dense bar form.
I would
Oh.
try it
I
because
mean-
I'm a blondie, so I'll give another
yeah.
blondie a chance.
There you
There
go.
you go. There
That's
you
what I'm
go.
talking about. All right, what's the next one?
Pie.
Oh, wow. So
Right?
we're doing
I can get with that one. Oh my gosh, I could fall into that one so hard.
Y'all, I told y'all I would be obnoxious, for the next, 9 months. But me and Jake are actually going to Jake is my fiance, we're going to do pie at our wedding. We're going to have a wedding pie.
Hey, that's kind of
versus
cool.
instead of a wedding
Instead
cake.
of a wedding
so
cake.
no cake at all.
We both, cake is good, but I like pie way better. So, and he does too. So we just decided we're just going to do a
Wow.
wedding pie.
Making
have
new
to do
traditions.
a lot of pies. How many people are you planning to have at your wedding? It's gonna be a lot of
I did
pies.
the guest list and I'm already overwhelmed. But we have a caterer, so we're hoping
they're
that
making
They
the
are
pie.
going to be
Yeah.
doing some serious baking.
Yes.
So what kind of pies? Is it going to be a variety of pies?
I
or
hope so. We haven't gotten to the logistics yet. I'm hoping maybe 3 or 4 different types, like blueberry pie, maybe a pecan pie, because it's going to be the fall. So, sweet potato pie we could even do.
That's good.
Yeah, stuff like, and I just love any kind of fruit pie. I'm down with that. So.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
pie
yeah.
day.
Oh,
I
I
will
think
be
probably my
celebrating.
favorite is apple pie.
Notice
and
that
ice
one
cream.
didn't need any explanation. Like
No.
nobody's saying, "Hey, what's the history of
We
that?"
don't
No,
care.
pie. Good
We
deal.
don't care about that one because we are
All
like
smiles
all
over here.
in for Pie Day, and that is what the 23rd. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. That's tomorrow. I'm gonna have to buy a pie for home. Look, I'm gonna have to buy a pie.
Okay, no.
I'm not
$1 million
gonna make
question
one.
for today: will it suffice if you eat a McDonald's pie, apple pie?
Hey, to each his own.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you got,
Right,
that's what you got.
All right.
Yeah.
I had to ask.
But you can go and buy one from the grocery store. Mrs. Smith's makes a good apple pie.
Y'all ever heard of Hubig's pies? Y'all ever had one of those? That must be something like a New Orleans thing. Okay, never mind.
But
Keep
what
going.
is it? Tell us.
It's just a pie in a pocket, with a little icing on it, and it's in a, just give it to you room temperature. It's they mass produce it. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay. Nope, never heard of it. So New Orleans based, huh?
Yeah, Hubig,
So if
Hubig. Got a
someone
picture of a
wanted-
big baker on it.
Okay, cool.
So if someone wanted to go and get said pie,
Almost any convenience store, grocery store, gas station.
gas station, really?
Oh yeah, it's all over the place.
Well, cool beans. I'm gonna have to remember that all year round.
Oh yeah, yes, because it's nothing like super fresh. It's packaged, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember that next time I'm in New Orleans. But yeah, I've got to get an apple pie for tomorrow because I fully intend to celebrate National Pie Day.
Are all the ones that we chose today as the entertainment for the first 30 minutes for the show
I know
food
this
based? I'm also recognizing that the time is running short too.
So
on
yeah,
this.
no, they're not all food based. So let's go ahead and fly through them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. So the next one, National Compliment Day. I don't have to explain this.
Yeah.
Give everybody a compliment, or give people that you feel like deserve one a compliment. It is basically just celebrating the power of praise can boost the happiness and confidence of people around you, whether at the workplace or at home. The act is a win-win.
You know what? Sometimes if you compliment people who aren't deserving of compliments, it makes them change their disposition and act better. So, food for thought there. Food for thought.
Oh, here we go with the food. All right, the next one, National Peanut Butter Day.
Back to the food.
I have nothing for this. It's because I'm not really a peanut butter fan.
I love peanut butter.
You love peanut butter? Yeah.
Jelly.
But the patent came in 1884, just letting y'all know if y'all didn't know that. And, ever since then, it's been a condiment that people just enjoy on a host of things. But, of course, originally thought of as a nut meal, a way to, get your nutrients in a quick and easy fashion. But now everybody loves their PB&J sandwiches. But I'm not. I'm an almond butter and jelly fan. I don't like
Really?
peanut butter.
Do you
It has a
drink almond
weird
milk?
aftertaste. Sometimes I drink almond milk, but it's for whatever reason peanut butter has got this sharp taste in my mouth, and I don't like it.
I've been eating almond butter too in my breakfasts, and it's okay. I've been, I have a preference. I like peanut butter better, but almond butter is healthier, so that's what
It
I've been
is.
trying lately.
Yeah. The chat, don't flame us on the chat, blowing up about. We got people in the peanut butter category like, I love peanut butter.
Yeah.
Don't talk bad about peanut butter. But
Yeah, peanut butter is good. I don't know that I've ever had almond butter. I've had apple butter, but I don't know that I've ever had almond butter. But interesting.
All right, the next one, International Day of Education, January 24th. By the way, that makes a whole ton of sense. That's, what is that, this Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah.
Thursday?
International Day
no,
of Education.
Wednesday.
Is it?
Wednesday. Today is the 22nd. Tomorrow is the 23rd.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So Wednesday, yeah.
So on Wednesday, what do we do here at LDCC, right? We are
Right.
proponents
That's it.
of education for all. We're an open admission institution.
That's it.
And, the story goes, this day looks at education from a broad perspective. The quality of education varies for children around the world, but some are deprived of what is considered a basic human right, to be educated. So really, we celebrate that day and education all around the world, and we hope that those that are kept from being educated will be able to break through those boundaries and get the education that they need, or that things will change in their political system so that they can as well.
I think it's pretty cool here in the state of Louisiana that we have TOPS. Tuition for students to be able to have monies set aside for them for their college education, and thankful that in the U.S. we have access to Pell Grants, for people who may not be able to pay for college on their own. Doesn't help those of us who fell in the middle, but, we had to get loans, but hey, I guess thank God for loans. I mean,
Some type of aid.
yeah, some type of aid.
All right, moving on. January 25th, National Opposite Day. This is a day where we can all proclaim that whatever we did or said, we actually meant the opposite. Although some experts claim that it's not January 25th, that it actually
Really?
should be celebrated on January 7th, which I guess is an opposite of sorts.
That is interesting. I wonder why.
So if your
Not
kids
gonna-
say, yeah, broccoli is my favorite food, they're lying.
Yeah.
On January
Now you
25th.
can just plead ignorance. I knew nothing about opposites day. You're getting broccoli.
That's right. Okay, and then something that may be new to some folks, but on that same day, National Irish Coffee Day. Have any of y'all had Irish coffee? Never had Irish coffee.
I guess not.
Okay. So this is coffee with a little bit of a kick or twist, a little, how do I say that? Little zest to it.
Is it adult coffee, Ryan?
Yes, it's an
That's
adult
what you're
beverage.
trying
There you
to
go.
say?
You get a
It's
two.
not appropriate for the children.
You get a 2-for-1 punch. There you go with the Irish coffee. You get a little caffeine and some other things there as well.
Cameron, we're drinking the wrong thing.
And usually it's topped with sugar or whipped cream as well. Yeah, it's very. I will say that my father used to get these every now and then with some of his buddies. So that was
Irish coffee.
Yeah, he wasn't a big drinker, but Irish coffee he was okay with.
Some of those days.
Yep.
All right, and about to wrap it up. National Spouses Day is supposed to be on Friday.
Oh, wow.
So I think that what a great picture this is too. I feel pressure because if it's National Spouses Day,
That means you have to do something to acknowledge it.
And
because
we
you
have
knowledge
Valentine's
of.
Day coming up too. So we got Valentine's Day coming up. Then you have their birthday too. Christmas. I mean, if you celebrate, we already have a lot of opportunities for gift giving, and this is another one.
yeah, just one more to add to the calendar.
Yeah.
And not if you're Lawrence Atkins, because I'm telling you, I remember early on in marriages, one of our biggest arguments
Is what?
ever, because he said, because I asked what were we going to do for Valentine's Day, and now mind you, we were young. It was right after we had gotten married, probably about 2 or 3 years after we had gotten married, and I already had 2 kids in tow, probably was pregnant with a third one, but he said, so, and all that to say, we was broke. And he said, Darian, the holidays were made for us. We weren't made for the holidays. And I mean, that just, everything bubbled up over me. I'd come from a family where we celebrated, the holidays. My mom made, holidays a very big deal. And so when this sounded like, yeah, we're not doing anything, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we better.
You're my Valentine.
The one and only.
Yeah, but after all of these years later, I do get it. I do get that, you're in control of your life and what that looks like and how you celebrate and what you choose to do. And you can choose to do things your way. It doesn't have to be the commercial way. You can, you have to find what's meaningful to the other person, and that creates that memory, and that's what makes it a good memory. So, I do get it. We didn't have to go and do, something big that we couldn't really afford to do and create bills that, we didn't need to make. And, pretty low priority in the big scheme of things. But, yeah, I mean, I get it. So don't feel pressure to have to do whatever.
Right. And
Find the thing that means something to your person.
Exactly. One of the things that's talked about on the day calendar is the idea that you can just compliment your partner. You can spend a little extra time. Their love language may very well be gift giving or, receiving gifts. But if it's something other than that, then you don't have to worry about coming out of your pocketbook.
But it just depends on what kind of gift you give. I mean, you can do something and gift-wise where you don't have to go and spend a ton of money in doing it.
Right, like cook their favorite meal or something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
But don't give just, off the cuff compliments to people either. Make them genuine. At least be thoughtful about it. Because people can tell when you're insincere. We talked about this on another podcast. Make it meaningful. Otherwise, you can really just kind of skip it.
Yeah.
And so the next one, is this the last one? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the last one.
National Fun at Work Day is Friday, so
Yeah.
get your silly string out and get
Running
your
Man.
get the board games or maybe I don't know something out at the workplace. And this day, of course, was
No
created.
Irish coffee.
No, can't do Irish coffee at the workplace because again, we work hard and we need to boost morale sometimes and just have a little fun, do a little something different. So this is our excuse to play video games all day. It will be Friday or whatever else it is that we want to do on that Friday, the 26th. We need to make sure that we bring that up.
PR room. Yeah.
I mean, College Council is that day, so we need to bring this up and maybe make sure that
I would like to make a motion.
Is it in person?
I think it is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's bring some balloons or something. I don't know.
Party after?
Maybe, okay, how about that?
The after party. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Okay, so that moves us down to, after Ryan's shenanigans this morning,
Ryan shenanigans.
in case you missed it, we have a couple of things. Yeah,
I got it.
good for you. We got a couple of things happening there. Y'all are in sync this morning. Y'all are hitting it out the park.
Yeah.
All right.
This is really our first episode where it's been really on point. Not to jinx it or anything. We still got an episode left. So.
We're going to dub this the pre-party.
Yeah.
All right, who's doing?
Cameron has in case you missed it.
All
So this past Saturday, it got rescheduled, but we had Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. It was supposed to be on Martin Luther King Jr. Day last Monday, but,
Weather.
snow, ice, yes. So instead, they had it on Saturday, and it looks like it was a great turnout. Miss Darian was there to take some pictures, and we have, it looked like we had a lot of food items brought because it was for the Promise Pantry. For them to stock up for our students, just anyone in the LDCC family who needs food. We have that Promise Pantry, and I am just so psyched that they had a great turnout, especially with the rescheduling, because it's hard to, reschedule something and hope for the same turnout. But I mean, people, the community, they
showed up.
Yes.
And they always do, and the energy in the room, man. I mean, there were adults, there were senior adults, there were children, we had our students, employees. I mean, gosh, it was so heavily supported.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it really was.
Which is
So it was
amazing
good to see
because
that.
everybody had blocked out time for Monday to be
Right.
the day. And Saturday, sometimes that can be family
Family
time, and you're thinking I've already made other plans, and so for all everybody to come out and volunteer that day to help out, and the donations, it was just incredible.
Means the most.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the next up, we have from Welcome Back Week. This was back on January 8th, but Ruston and Jonesboro hosted a Welcome Back Week event where they serve breakfast to their students. We have a couple pictures. These are from Ruston, and these are from Jonesboro. So,
It looks like they had a great time.
yeah, it does. I'm glad that they had, the photo booth set up and everybody can celebrate coming back to school, because I feel like a lot of times in January it's so hard to get back into your routine.
No
so
joke.
That little extra boost with breakfast, that's fantastic. So
Plus, it communicates to the students, man, we're excited that you guys are back. We were waiting for you. And even to our employees, because they're able to partake in that too, that, we appreciate you being here. So, yeah, that's really cool.
yeah, absolutely. So those are our two in case you missed it. And as the semester gears up and everything, I'm sure we'll have a lot more events that we're going to cover. So, and we'll go ahead and move on to our upcoming events. So first up, this is today. We have College Day at 2101 Tower Drive, Monroe, Louisiana, from 1 to 4 p.m. So if you are a student or know a student who maybe is in high school, or even just anyone who is looking at going back, getting some kind of higher education, please come out to 2101 Tower Drive in Monroe, and just come and see and learn about, everything that the community has to offer. It's free. There's no registration required. And Louisiana Delta Community College is going to be there.
Yeah, and we're doing that in partnership with a local organization called People United. So we appreciate those in the community who reach out to partner with us to help us spread our mission and to enroll students. So we appreciate those people and those organizations. So so they're hanging out with People United today.
Awesome. We also have Welcome Back Week at LDCC Monroe. It's sponsored by the SGA, and if I have this correct, they're having breakfast today and lunch tomorrow free for students, correct?
That's it. Breakfast today from 8:30 to 11:30, and then tomorrow we have lunch. I failed to find out what we are actually having. But anyways, lunch is from 11:30 to 1:30 here on the Monroe campus.
All
So
right.
make a note of that, employees. Breakfast today until 11:30. They just started about 15 minutes ago. And
And if any students are watching this too, it's breakfast for you too.
yeah. You know, I assume that students aren't watching this, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're really the focal point of
That's
all
right.
of this.
That's right.
And then lunch tomorrow, 11:30 to 1:30.
All right, that is awesome. Next up, we have LDCC Day. The dates have been announced and times, February 27th and 28th from 9 to 12. So I've never experienced an LDCC Day.
You haven't?
I've not.
Ooh.
You are
I wasn't
in
here
for a
yet
treat.
last year. So if y'all could speak to that, I think it would be great to, for our listeners.
Yeah, LDCC Day is a great day where high schools from all around the area come out. They visit the Monroe campus. They come to the ATC and just have a blast learning about all the different programs that we offer. We tend to try to put on a show as much as possible. You'll see some tables with free gifts, and pamphlets and whatnot. But you'll also see some displays, things like the anatomage, biology table. We've done. I've seen. There's been a ton of things. I'm thinking of that as like one of the hits of the past. We've done some things with media before. Just kind of, showcasing what the possibilities are at LDCC, and it's really to get the students to imagine themselves being here. A lot of folks, may assume that LDCC, has only one or two things to offer. Usually we purport our wonderful health and sciences, health sciences programs, welding and things like that. But, there's so many other things. There's business and then there's just, the liberal arts with, learning about history and psychology and things like that. So there's a ton of things to do and a ton of ways to go transfer degrees and transfer pathways, and it's important for the students to know all of what's available to them when they come to LDCC. The experience is excellent. And then we also, slowly but surely, are getting more student life going. We have the anime club and the esports club, and we have honor societies like Phi Theta Kappa and National NSLS, the Leadership Honor Society. So they need to
Black Male Mentoring.
Black Male Mentoring, right? There's all kinds of things, and so students need to learn about those as well because they need to figure out where they can plug in. And LDCC Day is the perfect way for them to learn that.
Yeah, and then you also have your little thing going where you're doing the interviews and doing the little live cut-ins.
See, now to me, I feel like, I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do that, where we're going to do that, because usually we're in this room doing it.
Yeah,
But now this is like,
we can still make that work.
okay, we don't want to intrude
We're
on the
not
PR
gonna,
area.
kick you out. Or anything. It's just a couple of days. It's not a,
Okay, well, good deal. Yeah, it's
regular
fun to
occurrence,
interview the
but yeah.
students, and they get on, and then they can share with their friends, like, hey, check it out. We did this today, and and they talk about what a great time they had, here, and that's the beauty of it.
It really is a fun event, and all of our programs that reside on the other campuses. For those of you who may be also new to LDCC, come here and set up their booth or their display and showcase their programs here too. So yeah, it is a comprehensive view of all that we have to offer, and it is really, really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, can't wait for it. Always a show. We always put on a show that day.
Yes,
Or those
we
2
do.
days.
Yeah, I'm so excited for my first LDCC day. We also have coming up, and this is just kind of a brief plug for one event because I'm pretty sure a lot of them had to be rescheduled because of weather, but digital literacy workshops and financial workshops are being offered by Adult Ed. Felicia Rogers has been heading that up and doing some great workshops around the different communities in the Northeast region. The one that's coming up is digital literacy at LDCC Tallulah. From 1 to 3 p.m. on February 7th. So spread the word. Digital literacy and financial literacy is definitely, become an issue in rural areas where that focus might not have been, totally hit on in, school systems and everything. So I think it's great. I want to take the financial workshop too at some point.
I was about to say financial literacy isn't, the challenges to that isn't restricted to the rural communities. I mean, that's across the board.
Everywhere.
I mean, and you're right, even some adults need assistance in that.
Absolutely. And so we're actually going to have her on the show next week. So we're excited to have Felicia to come on here and talk more about it. So that's all I'm going to say about it. And financial workshops, if you're interested in hosting that and wherever you are, please give her a call.
Yeah, what a great community service. All these things are open to the public.
Yeah.
And so anybody can come in
And I think
participate.
a lot of times people don't realize that too, when we advertise these things, that they are open to the community as well. Hey, we're a community college.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
All right. So today, our feature today, ta-da! All right, our feature today is a little bit different.
Go ahead.
It's a little bit different. Okay, because I thought, a lot of us sit a great part of the day. We get up, we go to a bathroom, we get up and we go get lunch. But we sit a lot. And I may be thinking about this because, I'm getting older. I'm not old, but I am getting older. And some of these things are affecting me more directly.
As she points to Cameron like, you young buck over there.
So I thought we'd share something today that would benefit everybody, regardless of age. And so what it is combating workplace fatigue physically from sitting all day. Okay. So Cameron has a link to a video that I want to share with you on some things that we can do right from our chair to combat workplace fatigue.
A quick 1-minute workout containing 3 exercises that you can do to tighten your waistline. Exercise number 1, we are just going to alternate kicking and reaching across. Again, alternating foot, alternating hand. Do that for 20 total seconds. Exercise number 2, arms come up. We're doing little jumping jacks, all from this chair. Again, out and in. Again, do that for 20 total seconds. And exercise number 3, we're just going to do nice little bicycle crunches. Again, rotate from the upper body. Your upper body stays straight and you lift that knee. Again, do that for 20 seconds. Doing each one of those 3 for 20 seconds is 1 minute. You can repeat them if you feel you have the energy and stamina. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you enjoyed. And as always, remember to keep
moving.
Keep moving. All right. So look.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
I mean, seriously, that
should be the feature every time, like workplace hacks.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do every show.
Those are really, really simple to do, and regardless as to your physical ability, I mean, you could do some form of those things. But the main point is that it gives you some movement.
Yes.
To cut in through your workday where you are sitting and maybe doing this for the majority of your day. So, and if you are physically able, hey, you can stand up and do those things, so, actually do jumping jacks.
We're not going to talk about how we look like a bunch of goofballs when the video was playing.
We were sitting here doing this. And we really did the jumping jacks, y'all. We did the jumping jacks from our seat. But try it. And that is a YouTube link, and I just Googled, exercises you can do from your chair. So, if you want to go back and pick that up, if you forget what those exercises are, you can go and Google that and find that one and some other ones that you may find even more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so we're down to Let Me Tell You.
Are you doing a little bit of history?
Did I skip over that? I
don't
did
know.
skip over that.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of history. So, y'all.
That sets the mood.
Yeah, it really did. Good job, Ryan. So I'm gonna get right here and face this camera right there.
Gosh.
And
Oh, yeah. Let me switch to the right camera. Here we go.
okay. And y'all, this month,
I could only read.
20 years ago, I'm gonna tell you some stuff that was happening with LDCC.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this week, January 25th, is when this article ran in the News Star. Actually, this is dated January 25th, but it looks like this event was the 21st. Okay, so look, y'all, we had a bonsai workshop hosted by Louisiana Delta Community College. We hosted the Science Club. Actually hosted 2 bonsai workshops. You know, we still have a science club.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do some pretty cool things, and
Yeah.
that would have been really nice.
I know.
To be around
Ryan,
for.
are we picking that? Yeah. So yeah, that was actually a real thing. So they hosted 2 bonsai workshops, which is pretty cool. And they got to the workshop was entitled "Build Your Own Cypress Swamp," and I bet you Tiffany Green will probably remember that.
And that
Yeah,
was in
it was
2004?
It was in 2004, from
Wow.
1 to 4, from 9 to noon, and 1 to 4 they did too at St. Patrick's
Wow.
Episcopal Church.
We need to do that. We need to bring that back. That sounds like a really cool thing to do.
And it was $25 then, so it was limited to 15 people. So that is pretty cool. And also, we awarded the Louisiana Delta Foundation awarded scholarships that same week. So that was really, really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're still doing that. Yeah, so that's a little bit of history.
20 years ago.
Yeah, but also around that, during this same month, 20 years ago, there was a lot of conversation around President Bush's program, his 21st century program that he launched, where it was a jobs program where I think it was like $500 million was going to be awarded for job training and education programs, and $250 million of that was earmarked for community colleges. And so Louisiana, of course, Dr. Bumpus was the president of Louisiana Community and Technical College System, LCTCS, at the time, and he was, of course, vying to get some of those dollars. But yeah, that was, that was the big news back during this month 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you now were those stored on microfiche or something like that?
These are our actual hard copies that were collected. at
Wow,
that
and
time.
preserved
And
all this
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I'm so glad you have those in the record books. You're
I
our
know,
official
and it was-
historian.
I mean, really, I guess our department, really has become that, because that's who passed those down to me, was my predecessor. So yeah, they did a great job of collecting the news of LDCC news of the day, even before we were actually an official entity. So it is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, 20 years ago this month, that's what was happening in the halls of LDCC.
Right.
Cool.
Thank you so much for that.
Now we can move on to Let Me Tell You.
Tell you.
All right.
So, Cameron, what are you going to tell us?
Well, I actually told Dr. Jones that we would be talking about her on the podcast, but I didn't tell her what. So I hope
could
she's
really say
listening.
something.
She was a little concerned, so maybe she did tune in. But we're here to talk about how she is so involved with the community and doing some really cool stuff. So recently, she launched, in collaboration with some other community members, the Jones Center of Arts and Academic Excellence.
Wow.
As in Dr. Alicia Jones.
Dr. Alicia Jones. Good for her. That is fantastic. We were kind of stalking people on Facebook, to be honest.
We did. I mean, we happened upon that, and it was like, what? I didn't know this. Did you know this?
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah, and she's so busy all the time, and now we know why. It's, running this. I think she also has a side business.
She does Professor A educational coaching.
Yes, and so that's amazing too. Helping students with their ACT tutoring and just everything. I mean, that is, oh my gosh, like.
And she's not all work and no play. I mean, she just came back from Dubai. I'm just saying.
So fabulous. I love it. But yeah, congratulations to her for being able to launch that. And it's a nonprofit organization. If you are interested in supporting it in any way, reach out to her. I mean, they're just now, kind of launching it and getting it going. So.
We share these things because we do want to, make everyone aware of the things that other employees are doing, because we don't know sometimes, what's happening in the lives of one another. And when we do learn about things like this, and like the things we've already shared, in previous podcasts and even in the Week at a Glance, we want to celebrate you. We want to celebrate your accomplishments. I mean, we're proud of you. And so, a great big night. Kudos to Dr. Jones.
Yes.
That's right.
For her recent accomplishments.
And our next Let Me Tell You is about some of our other coworkers too. So for the Monroe Metropolitan Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, they have a Mardi Gras Royal Court, and we have a couple familiar names in the court.
Yes.
The Queen is Dr. Deborah Jackson,
Yeah.
our very own.
Yay, Deborah!
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
I'm so excited. And we also have Dr. Alicia Jones showing up again in the Royal Court.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
we do.
And then finally, we have Crescencio Jackson, also
Yes.
participating
Division
on
chair
the
for
court.
liberal arts. That's right. Awesome.
That's it.
He's my wall buddy, I call him, because we hear each other talking because we're right next door, and we have pretty loud voices when we're on the phone. So I hear his conversation and he hears mine. But it's
Oh
great.
my goodness.
I love it.
Now, if y'all didn't know, Crescencio Jackson also keeps candy in his office. Now, a lot of us keep candy, but he keeps the best kind. It's the Hershey's chocolate candy.
Oh,
So it's
that's
the
the good
almonds,
stuff.
it's the toffee,
That's
it's
the
the
good
dark
stuff.
chocolate. It's the right. If you need a pick-me-up, go to the 3rd floor. I don't have his room number memorized. 319, I think it is, y'all. Go see Crescencio
Follow
for some
the
candy.
voice.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got a great big booming voice.
absolutely.
Well, congratulations to you all for representing, and
Yes.
Deborah Jackson made the queen.
That's right, Queen.
Right.
Jackson.
Yeah, we just love highlighting, everybody in the LDCC family doing great stuff in the community and being voices. I'm so proud.
And I want to stress too that none of these people told us about this stuff. We kind of happened upon this stuff, as we're trekking and through social media and different things.
So be careful what you post.
Yeah, 'cause
We're
if we
looking.
see it, we'll steal it. But if I said that to say that if there's some things going, that you've done or that you've accomplished, I asked or solicit those that information for the Week at a Glance. But just so you know, if you send it to me, we'll share it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
We wanna
sometimes we may
celebrate.
not know.
Yeah, we want to celebrate everybody. Again, we keep repeating the same thing, but not only are people just participating in community events, but we want to celebrate people's accomplishments, their entrepreneurial spirit, their will to give back through volunteerism and creating, just whole enterprises that are supposed to uplift the community. I mean, it's an extension of what we're trying to do here at LDCC, and it just fits right in. So I just really we're proud. I mean, that's really what we're feeling right now. It's just pride for those that we work with, that we can in some way say that we're a part of that, or that we share the same space as some of these folks do. You know, they're just incredible people, incredible human beings that are they're doing a lot of good things.
You know, we're not politicians, so, you know, we don't go around kissing babies and whatnot. But, you know, if you've had some additions to your family and you're proud of them, we're proud for you. You know, we'll share that too. So, you know, just send us some shout outs and we'll get it out. All right, so that takes us down. We're almost at the end of our podcast, y'all, and it's been, you know, it got better as we got into it. That Celsius really helped out a lot, and the company was great. So we ought to be able to fly through the rest of our day. But so the next segment is the Monday morning motivation. All right, Monday morning motivation this week is Make It Happen Monday.
Okay, make it happen.
Make It Happen Monday. You know, I thought about, I have so conditioned myself to waiting until the last minute to do something and then going in overdrive to get it done, and that is all kinds of dysfunctional. So I'm not saying that like this is something that you ought to do.
It's a strong word.
It's just I have made myself highly dysfunctional in that capacity, and I'm trying to work my way out of it, because it's a horrid habit. But I know that when I do that, I'm leaning into mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, you know, food breaks, I need to go and grab something to eat, you know, or this person needs me, or, you know, I need to, you know, attend to this. And sometimes those are valid, but I know when they are procrastination tactics.
Oh,
I know when they
There's
are.
whole books written about how to not procrastinate, you know, how to get on the task and whatnot. So yeah, it's a tough thing.
And you know when it is. I mean, when you're honest with yourself, you know when you're procrastinating.
Yeah.
And those things, it's not hard to justify some of those things that we use as justifiers. You know, it's like, oh, mental health, and mental health is very important. But I know when I've sat and watched 10 episodes of something, you know, I'm going to be
I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I procrastinate some work with other work. So I'll sit there and do kind of the fun or easy stuff, or, you know, the stuff that's kind of low brain power, and procrastinate the stuff that's, you know, a little more critical.
Yes, that I identify there. I identify with that. So when I'm doing that, I'm not really helping myself, and I know that I'm not really helping myself because I still feel the weight of what I need to do hanging over me.
Right.
And so, and how that plays out in real life is I'm much more prone to irritability. All of the dark side of myself comes out, you know, and
The
comes
shadow.
closer to the,
Remains
seriously,
unchecked.
it comes closer to the surface, and it's easy to, you know, to let the lid off, and for some of that to seep out because I'm feeling tense, and you know, I'm feeling the pressure, even though I'm not succumbing to actually doing the job to relieve the pressure. I told you,
We'll
it's
do
all
anything except what's going to
all
relieve
kinds
that.
of dysfunctional. So this is not a practice to you know, to take on, but you know, in that, so I have this weight, and it's keeping me from doing the things that I really, really need to do. And it's making me the worst version of myself, you know, in the process. So it's like, why do that?
It's like a paralysis if you think about it, because you're thinking about what you have to do, and you're frozen, you're not doing that. And then you really don't feel like you can allow yourself to do the things you want to do, you know, so, or even if you're doing those things, you're still thinking about the work. So you're just in this weird.
I told you, it's dysfunctional. Okay, so then in those moments, it's really great to not only know, to recognize what you're doing, but also to understand why you're doing it. For me, sometimes it's fear. It could be fear of whatever, fear of, I don't want to deal with a confrontation. It could be a conversation that I might need to have, or it could be, man, I feel mentally lazy right now. I just want to just veg out and just scroll social media, or I just want to binge watch this show. It could be that I'm physically lazy, and not wanting to do something. So it's important to know, to recognize when you're doing that, but also why you're doing it, so that you can help yourself, and so you can pull back out of that ditch. Because it
Tough
is a
place
ditch.
to be.
You got to figure out how do I help myself to climb out of it, because if not, then you get to your deadline and you're making this mad dash.
You're staying up all night and doing
and
stuff
while
like
you
that.
may produce something at the end that may be okay, it could have been great.
Right.
Or while you go and venture into this conversation, you could have been better prepared for it. It could have been more impactful. You could have gotten more out of it. You could have, exercised the discipline to bring a better outcome.
Yeah, that's right. I was just going to say that this what we're talking about, it's not just, I think, related to us at the table necessarily. I think this is an epidemic.
Truly.
More people than not have trouble setting small tasks. A big project, but setting the small tasks, setting the little milestones so that you can get to the place of completion in a steady fashion. And it's just a tough discipline to undertake.
Especially when we have so many things that vie for our attention. You have notifications popping up on your phone about this or that, and then you could, and this could happen after you have said, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to get this thing done. And then your phone goes ping, and then you're looking to see, what are they saying to me? Oh, that movie is out now? Depending on the notifications that you're getting.
Yep.
And so that drives your attention away. But sometimes on the things, what makes looking at why we procrastinate such a hard task is, as humans, we have a difficult time seeing ourselves outside of a good light. We want to see ourselves in a good light. So anything that could potentially put us in a bad light, of course we don't want to look at that.
Right.
We don't want to deal with that. We don't want to face that.
And that's why we lie to ourselves.
If we and we perpetuate this dysfunctional cycle.
Yep.
And so you really do have to take the courage to look at yourself and recognize, you know what? It was fear that made me not want to do this thing or approach this circumstance or situation. And you don't want to, in yourself, admit that it was fear, because you want to feel strong. Right. You want to feel powerful. You want to feel in control. But the reality is that sometimes we don't feel that, and it's okay. But you have to recognize and be true to yourself, and in recognizing, I don't feel powerful right now. I don't, and realize that's not the end of the story. It doesn't have to be the end of the story, because if you let that be the end of the story, life is happening to you, and you are choosing to become a victim. But if you don't let the story end there, then you are asking yourself, what do I need to do to move out of this space so that I do feel in control? What do I need to prepare? How do I need to think about this? What do I need to where do I need to redirect my thoughts? So make it happen Monday. There are reasons that we land here in this spot, and actually procrastination may not be your thing, but you have to figure out what your thing is and deal with your thing. Procrastination is a big thing for me for not getting things done. But Make It Happen Monday is a reminder that we have control of our lives. If you've handed over your power, take it back, man. Take it back. Don't let life happen to you. take charge of your life and be in control over the things that are happening, and it as much as you can. Sometimes you can't control things, but you can control how you respond and react to those things. You've got the power. Make stuff happen today and every day. Hashtag disrupting the madness. Hashtag you are a brand. Hashtag protect your brand.
And again, we can find you on what social media platforms?
Instagram at Darian Atkins _ PFS Ready.
Oh,
That's my little side
did you
gig.
just
And then
create that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Congratulations.
transitioned my Instagram to reflect my business brand, and on Facebook at Darian Atkins, and then setting up my YouTube page, but that's a work in progress because I actually need videos and I haven't gotten that far, but
We'll get there.
yeah, I
Baby
did
steps.
create some leadership material over the weekend, so hey,
Look at that.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
You were working during the snow day.
I'm disrupting the madness. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. So that anything else, y'all?
My mug. Picked this
That
up in
is
New Orleans.
So cute. Did you really?
Well, it was actually when I went and got engaged in New Orleans.
she found a way to plug it.
Yes, I did.
Every
my
episode.
fiance bought this for me secretly and then
fiance.
surprised me with it. So I love this
Aw.
mug. It is one of my favorite mugs. So
Oh, that is so sweet.
other than that, everybody have a great week. We can do it.
Make it happen.
All right. Do we have some closing? There we go.
There we go.
It's like a 20 or 30 second delay.
Wow.